Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So life has been crazy since the last update. I wanted to update you guys like what happened to me last month, but I was so sick and so weak that I just didn't have the energy, and all my energy was just trying to live and taking care of my son. So about a month ago, I felt like I could not breathe, and just to stand up, I was straining I felt like my abs were being strained, like pulled apart. And I had to go to my dentist, and just walking one block, I felt like I couldn't breathe. So I walked to my dentist's office, which was a 15-minute walk. And by the time I got there, I had to stop literally like every minute just to catch my breath. So heading home, I decided, I'll walk since I got there on my own. I'll just take my time like I just did going over there. So on my way coming back, that same block of my dentist, I basically could not breathe. I saw everything going black. And so I decided, let me just catch my breath. 5 minutes go by, still couldn't catch my air. Like I literally was leaning down on something, and every time I got up, the wave of blacking out came back. And so I decided that I was going to just sit down on the floor like a hobo. And basically that's what I did. And a few people came by to be like, are you okay? And but this one lady actually stood by me to make sure that I was fine. And I wound up calling my husband to come pick me up. But then I realized that I don't know how we're gonna walk it home, because I could not get up even from the floor. So I wind up calling my brother-in-law, who has a car, and he wind up picking me up. So then the following day, I decided maybe it's time to go to the hospital, because I could not breathe even from getting up from the bed. So I guess I'll just put a bunch of photos here of when I went to the hospital. And then comes to find out, when I'm in the emergency room, they gave me oxygen because I couldn't breathe. And then they checked my blood work, and they told me that I was a 4 on hemoglobin, and that 2 meant death. So from a 13, where you should be a normal, and 8 being anemic but still livable, you just gotta take some iron pills, I was taking 3 iron pills on the daily. And yet I was a 4. So they told me that I'm here with my son. So they told me that I could have died, and that they're very happy that I came by to the ER. So they decided to give me 3 blood transfusions, and that I had to stay a night. And what was crazy was that the next day, sorry, I got a call. So from 2 days from that point, I was supposed to go to a cancer and blood specialist. And I was hearing that when you go there, they'll give you like blood if you need it, or iron IV. So I was like, I'll wait until then. But I just could not wait. And thankfully I did go to to get a blood transfusion in the ER, because when I did go to a specialist the next day, basically they told me my blood level was at a 10, but I still needed the IVs, since I was technically still bleeding heavily, and there was no way of stopping that. So they gave me an appointment to get an IV. So I guess I'll insert the photos of when I was at the hospital. First blood transfusion. My little sunshine. So after I did go to my specialist, they did give me, I had to wait a week to give me the IV transfusion. And so from that week, I went from a level 10 to an 8. And so after that, they told me I had to have another IV transfusion after the following week. And so I went there time and time again. I was still at 8 like every single time, so I still need a blood transfusion. But then I told them I do have a surgery to remove my fibroids, so you know, I can't come back. So they told me to wait a month and then I'll come back. So today is about a week and 2 days of post-op, and so I did go to get my surgery. I was so nervous. And then I went to, you know, have the surgery, and I woke up to find out that they had to do a hysterectomy, which I was so hurt and so sad, and I was so confused because, you know, the doctor that I've been speaking to this whole entire time, he told me that he was going to remove the fibroids, but when he told me to save my life, they needed to do a hysterectomy. So what ended up happening is that half my fibroid, which he called a monster, and that it was super ugly. He told me my fibroid was practically my whole entire uterus, but the lining of the inside of the uterus. So half of my uterus had died, and then that part of the dead uterus, instead of shrinking back down, it decided to catch an infection. So then that infection started causing a cyst, pus, and started going all over my uterus, started killing my uterus. So essentially I had a cyst, both my fallopian tubes were infected, and so was my uterus, which was causing me to bleed extremely heavy, and that the doctor did not understand how I was living, because he says it looked ugly. And from the, you know, when they did the autopsy, I guess, of it, it was showing that it was a chronic pain type, I guess, infection. And I kept bleeding every single time they were cutting into it. So he called up my husband, and he told my husband, like, there's nothing left. When he did remove the uterus, no, the fibroid, there was nothing left of my uterus. So he basically said, you know, neither you want this or you want to save, yeah, you want to save your wife's life. So my husband said, I'll choose my wife. So I woke up that way, and it's hard for me. I'm gonna go see a therapist for it. Stuff I have to deal with in the morning when I have to get through to go take a freaking operation, man. This is ridiculous. I'm late for my operation because of this. Thank you. Squish, 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 squish. But now I do feel stronger, so I'll keep you guys updated on that, and I'll see you guys later.